Hello, hi, and how are you? We are rounding off our Angels series here. Um, Unless we do a Kabbalah angel video, but I think that'll be sometime down the road. Who knows? But for now, we are rounding out our Angel series, which I encourage you to check out if you have not. There will be a link to a Christianity playlist at the end of this video that contains all of the Angel series as well as some other videos about Abrahamic stuffs that may interest you, such as God having a wife, etc., etc. So, leaving for last in these Abrahamic faiths, being the faith of Islam, and it has a lot to say. I'm not going to make this video probably as long as I made the others just because some of the information is redundant at this point. And we know what we're getting into at this point. Again, I encourage you to go check out those other videos if you have not. Because we're going to be working off of the information that we have learned in each previous video. That being the video on Judaism, Catholicism, and Protestant Christianity. So, working off of the Quran here, which is the holy text of the Islamic faith, or faiths, because there are many within, as there are with Judaism and Catholicism and Protestantism. Okay, essentially angels are the same. I'm just going to jump in. Essentially angels are the same as they are in Judaism and Catholicism and Protestantism. And that is that they are beings, heavenly beings that were created by God and were created solely to praise God, but also to carry out God's actions and to protect God's other creations. That's basically what it's been in every single other faith that we've looked at here in this Abrahamic collection of faiths. What makes them different in Islam, however, is angels in the Islamic faith are explicitly stated as being anthropomorphic and abstract. So what we mean when we say that is that sometimes there are instances of them as appearing as pure elements, like it's just a burning fire and that is the angel, or it is a cloud of smoke and that is the angel. It's a beam of light and that is the angel. Things like that. And then also we see completely human angels. Like, they look like a human. They don't even have wings. Like, it's a human, but they're an angel. Sometimes we see the classical image that we all have ingrained in us of an angel, quoted here, of a person in heavenly garments with a full set of wings. So we know what that looks like. And then we also have like animals, people that look like animal human fusions, and then also just animals that seem to appear, but those are angels. So angels are indeed huge shapeshifters in the Islamic faith, it seems, which is fascinating. And another point of interest that I find is that it's specifically stated that angels do not get tired, they do not eat, they do not drink, and they do not anger. They have no ability, the emotion, to, use the emotion of anger. They don't have it. That's interesting to me. And it said that sometimes angels were created out of light after God created light. He made angels from the light. I find that neat because, humans were made from the dirt of the earth, supposedly. So I just think it's neat that God would create all of these elements and then create things from those elements. Like sentient things. That's really cool. Kind of makes us feel like we're all golems or automatons, but I digress. That would be another conversation. But yeah, I think that's interesting to note. And then I also think it's really cool to point out that a lot of the angels that are name dropped, and there are a ton, which is different from Catholicism, Judaism, and Protestantism. There are a ton of name-dropped angels. But they are described sometimes very, very, very heavily. But a lot of the time, they're described, like, monochromatically. Like, angels seem to pick a color and decide that's my signature color. And they adorn themselves in heavenly garments solely of that color. So, for instance, Gabriel, who we see across all the Abrahamic faiths. Very important angel. He is seen as monochromatically clothed in green. Green's my favorite color, so that's exciting. But I just think that that's really interesting. Really interesting. Also, sometimes they are described as being larger than a normal human. While they may appear as a human, they are like giants. So that's really cool. Again, we're glossing over some things because it's the same as the other videos. So really, take everything you know and apply it here, plus what I'm giving you. Let's see, what was another interesting thing I had put? So yeah, we have guardian angels, which we had in Catholicism, but not in Protestantism, which I found interesting. Officially, unofficially they're in all the Abrahamic faiths, but we're working off of solely the holy texts here of each faith. But in the Quran, there are guardian angels, and you can kind of like upset your guardian angel, but I guess not anger them because they don't possess anger. But they do possess the ability to feel disgust in the person that they're watching over. So you can be a person of impurity, and specific instances are like if you are constantly having sexual intercourse with people. That disgusts an angel, and they will leave you until you ritually purify yourself and like ask for forgiveness and stop. Another thing I thought was pretty funny was if you just don't bathe enough and you smell bad, an angel will leave you. And a lot of times it's not even necessarily from bathing either. There's a specific instance where a person tells a lie, and that kind of makes their aura smell horribly. And their angel leaves them. They're like, figure that out. Bye. Like, I thought that was pretty funny. It also says specifically that, in case you were concerned, that angels do depart from humans when the humans are naked or having a bath, out of decency. But angels do also have the ability to curse people in this faith, which I thought was fascinating. And they will curse a person who is nude in public, who is too promiscuous in any way, or just overly sinful and not remorseful of those sins. I found that really interesting that they use the word curse. So again, we have here like the different classes of angels, just as we did in Catholicism, which were like really laid out for us. It's the same here. We have archangels, we have seraphs, but they use different names, more like Arabic sounding names for those. And we have, 7 heavens, like different states of heaven, like sections of heaven, which I found interesting. But most interesting, I found that there are angels in hell in the Islamic faiths. And you may say, oh, Jake, we already know that. There are fallen angels in Judaism, Catholicism, and Protestantism. Okay, but these are not fallen angels, is what I would say. These are angels. They're still holy angels. But they are in hell because it is their job to punish people for their sins for eternity. It's, for some reason, not the devil or demons that are doing this. It is angels. It's important to note that across all the Abrahamic faiths, while God is a loving and compassionate God, he is also a God of wrath, of anger. And he will punish you. And apparently he will send his angels to do it in the Islamic faith. And there are names of these angels. Malik, Zabaniya. I hope I'm pronouncing that one right. But there are a lot. Hamlat Arsh, Ala Arsh. Harut and Marut. There's a lot. And well, it is important to note that Harut and Marut were fallen angels. But and they're actually quoted as teaching humanity witchcraft or magic. So, I'm a big fan. But there are angels, holy angels, as I named before them, that are there and are in charge of punishing people. And the chief one is Malik. And I just find that interesting. Very interesting. That angels would reside in hell. Holy angels, not fallen angels. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. Um, there. What's interesting too is like there are angels with specific jobs on how to punish. So there was one. Again, I apologize on these pronunciations, but it's like Naziet. Naziet. That sounds Russian though, but you know what I'm trying to say here, kind of. Naziet, Naziet, Nashiet. Two angels who are helpers of Azrael, who we know from the other Abrahamic faiths, from taking the souls of the deceased. And it says that, like, they take the souls out painfully. And I don't understand why they're taking them out painfully, because they do seem to take them out of everyone, not just the people who are going to hell. So I found that interesting. But again, there's so much here. So I encourage you to go look at the Quran yourself, do a little Googling. There are a lot of angels that are name dropped in the Quran and its associated canonical and non-canonical texts. A lot. There's an angel of thunder. There's angels who are devoted solely to moving clouds around the earth to make rain. There's a lot. There's an angel who's name dropped for removing grief and depression from the children of Adam. That was its only job that it's reported in, recorded. There was an angel named Ridwan, I think, who is just the keeper of paradise. What was another interesting? Oh, there was a whole group of angels called the Journeyers. And they travel to Earth to seek out assemblies of people who actually remember God's name. That would be a whole nother conversation for us to have. And there are angels that are like devoted to just maintaining order in the universe and fighting back the energy that is chaos, which that would be a full-time job. But they're so secretive that only God knows about them and knows how many of them actually exist and their whereabouts, which is interesting. Like these super covert, secret Charlie's Angels. Oh, Charlie's Angels. Who are like fighting back the forces of chaos and darkness. I just find that interesting. There is a report of one individual who it's debated on whether he is an angel or like a half angel, half human, which is like crazy. And I'm not gonna pretend to try to pronounce his name. But yeah, there's a lot. There's a whole lot. There is Azazel, of course, who we also know probably from Catholicism, and I believe Judaism, who was an angel that did fall because he refused to bow to the commands of Adam. He only wanted to bow to and listen to commands from God, but he did not listen to them from Adam, so he's banished to hell for it. Which opens up a whole huge debate that carries across a lot of different sects of Islam and Sufism about whether angels are better than humans, higher than humans, and I think the general consensus is completely torn. But it does seem more often than not, from what I found Googling, is that people do assume that humans are the highest form of creation that God has made. Like, that's his favorite thing. And that they are higher held than angels. But there's a huge debate on that. And again, as with all the Abrahamic faiths, there's so much interpretation and there's so much contradiction in the holy text itself on what things are and what things aren't across the board on morals and ethics and specifics. So again, that's just to whet your palate. Excuse me. There are just so many things about angels in this that, like Catholicism, I would have to go on and on and on and on and on. So I'm just scraping the surface here. But yes, I do think that their appearances are interesting. Sometimes they just appear as orbs as well, which you kind of see me recreate on the thumbnail here. I find that interesting. I just find it interesting that angels can be animals, humans, humanoid, just lights and objects, and angels can literally appear as anything in the Islamic faith, and I think that's really cool and intriguing to me. Also, the fact that there are angels in hell will probably never stop fascinating me. That's fascinating. Yes, I mean, we can make a whole video about the 7 different heavens, like 7 sections of. You could say it's 7 sections of heaven, or you could say it was 7 different heavens. There are angels devoted to each one of those heavens. It's amazing. Like, there is a rooster angel in one of the heavens who literally is described as having like 70. I think it's like 70 heads. Like, it's crazy. It's really crazy. But yeah, there are tons of different choirs of angels, like we saw in Catholicism. Pretty much all of them are the same. Raphael is there, Gabriel's here, Michael's here, along with, as I said, a ton of other angels. Specifically, there is a very sacred angel named, I think his name is Jibril, I think. And that is the angel of Revelation, because that is the angel that came to Muhammad to reveal the Quran. So, of course, that would be a very, very, very important and sacred angel in the Islamic faiths. But anywho, I digress. There is so many angels. As I said, there are angels who are responsible for giving music to humanity. There are angels who are responsible for giving witchcraft to humanity, and they were punished. There are angels who gave, like fire and resources and knowledge, science. Like, it goes on and on and on. But anywho, that's just to wet your whistle. As I said, here are the others in the series, and here's another video you might like, and thank you so much for watching my videos and continuing to watch my videos, and don't forget to like this video, and because it helps me out, and subscribe to the channel, and if you have witchy friends, share these videos, and thank you so much, and goodbye.